According to the nature and size of business, usually organization decides how the structure of an organization should be. Organizing is a process of bringing together physical resources, manpower planning, and financial resources. Departmentalization, when you go with departmentalization, each one is good in their own field. So you need to allot the work to those people. Hello everybody, a warm welcome to one and all. I'm Vidhyaashram from the Department of Commerce and Management in Vidhyaashram PU College, the Temple of Excellence. Welcome to all the students for the 5th session revision, and the 5th chapter is all about organizing. I hope after watching planning, you will get to know why we are supposed to organize, because that is the second functions of management. Now in organizing chapter, we're gonna go with these topics. Let me tell you here, students, in this chapter you will definitely get a 8-mark question. You also have a POQ question. We call that as the functional structure or division structure. There are only 2 structures which you are supposed to go with it. I have also given the diagram how you are supposed to write and why many people will not score 5 on 5. Also, I'm going to teach you in the same diagram. So here we're going to go with the concept of organizing, that is the meaning and definition of organizing. Process of organizing, importance, then we're going to move to the advantage, disadvantages of functional, divisional, difference between formal, informal, distinguish between formal, informal, then delegation and decentralization, and the last one is importance of delegation. So all these things we're going to cover in this topic. You have a 4-mark question. If anybody says in organizing, the answer is no, you will not have a 4-mark question. Instead, you will get a 8-mark question. One 1-mark question, one 2-mark question. So here what happens is there are 2 1-markers which has been come in this chapter. So be very careful. The 12 marks is what you people will get in this chapter. When you get a 12 marks question from this chapter, that means this chapter is very, very important here. Please do practice this chapter thoroughly in your home. So here the first one is the meaning of organizing, which we're going to go with it. Organizing is all about what? It's a process. Now management is a process, planning is a process, organizing is also a process. Now in organizing, there is a trick how to remember is, organizing is a process of bringing together physical resources, manpower planning, and financial resources. So all these 3 if you bring. Now the question is why you should bring these 3 things together, because to accomplish the desired organization goal set by the top level management, that's the reason you are doing it. That is called organizing. So I'll tell you in a nutshell, right? Organizing can be defined as a process that initiates implementation of plans by clarifying jobs and working relationship and effectively deploying resources for attainment of identified and desired results. See here, if you go with the bookish knowledge, if you go with the definitions given by these big people, you will not understand properly. So I'll tell you very simple, right? Bringing together. So you're gonna bring 3 things. First one, say manpower. Second, finance. Third, physical resources. Now all these 3 you're gonna bring why? To achieve the desired organization goal. That is called organizing. So this is a very simple meaning which I have given you. Please take undue advantage of these simple answers, simple meanings, and write it in your examination. You will definitely get out of it. So here steps in the process of organizing. If you get this, there are 4 steps here. Namely, the first one is identification and division of work. So whatever you need to go with it, whenever you organize something, you need to check what exactly one should do it. That's a question. So you need to identify, and then you need to go with division of work. See, division of work is the Henry Fayol 14 principle. The first thing, that is, you need to split the works into small jobs and give it to people who are specialized. Second is departmentalization. When you go with departmentalization, each one is good in their own field. So you need to allot the work to those people. Assignment of duties. After allotment, you will assign when they are supposed to do, what they are supposed to do, how they are supposed to do it. The last one is establishing authority and reporting relationship. See, authority and reporting, when you go with it, the supervisor is there, the superior is there, the subordinate is there. So what happens here is, we have the levels of management, isn't it? The top, medium, or the middle is what it is. It is not medium, it is middle. Top, middle, supervisory. Now here what happens is, the top level will have more authority. So the downfall, right? So here the downward movement is what? Authority. Now who will report whom is? Supervisory level will report the middle level will report to the top. That is what the organizing last thing is, establishing authority and reporting relationship. Who should have more authority? Who should report whom? That is given by organizing. Next is importance of organizing. I told you 8-mark question. That's why I've given you 7 points here. How to write this question? In the sense, the answers are, first you write introduction about organizing, then you need to go with meaning of organizing, definition of organizing, then go with a flow chart, right? Flow chart. Now how will you write the flow chart? Is the 7 points which are there, that only you are supposed to write the flow chart. Then start explaining each and everything. The first one is benefits of specialization. See, division of work, I told you, right? Now when we go with division of work, the thing is what? Whoever is specialized in whichever work, those people will get the work. So benefit of specialization. Clarity in working relationship. Who should work, at what time, when, how, why, everything is given. So clarity is maintained here. Optimum utilization of resources. How this happens is, a person who is specialized and he knows the relationship, he will use the resources optimally. They will not waste anything. They're gonna use each and everything. Adaptation to change. If any dynamic situation happens, contingency happens, now while going with this organizing, we will get to know that how to change the course of action. Adaptation to change. They'll adapt to the situation. Effective administration. Why here effective administration? The question can come, right? Why the administration will be effective? Please understand. Let's go back to our previous slide here. Assignment of duties is done. Establishing authority and reporting relationship. So when you authorize, who is a person who has more authority? Who are the people who need to report to whom? Now what happens is, there will be a beautiful administration which is going to happen. Development of personnel. See the word personnel. Personnel means staff, people who are there, right? So development of individual, that is, staff will be more. Reason, again, specialization is there. The staff will actually attain that specialized zone. Expansion and growth. Now expansion and growth, it is divided actually. For organization also it happens. Organization. As well as for individual. For individuals also it will happen. That is the expansion and growth. That is how the importance of organizing will receive. Next is organization structure. Now in your syllabus, we have only 2 structure. One is functional structure, another is divisional structure. When we go with functional and divisional, before that, we need to understand what is organization structure. So it is a outcome of the organizing process. An effective structure will result in increasing profitability of enterprise. The need for an adequate organized structure is felt by an enterprise whenever it grows in size or complexity. See, for a very big company, we need a very complex kind of a structure. It is not like that. It's like authority should be good, responsibility should be taken into consideration, accountability should be transparent, And the last one is the reporting. Who should report whom? That is, should be stated properly. So here, according to the nature and size of business, usually organization decides how the structure of an organization should be. But I always tell my students, as well as I always tell people, whoever draw the structure is, here clarity should be there, whom you are supposed to report and why you are supposed to report to that person. If you have that clarity, you can go with the structure of organization. So here we have types of organization structure. There are two types: functional structure and divisional structure. See, the word functional structure is, it differentiates itself with the functions what the people do. Divisional in the sense, it's all about departmentation. Departments are given here. So functional structure is for a small and a medium organization. Division structure is for a medium and a very big or a large organization. That is the first difference which you need to understand. So here, when we go with this, function structure as well as division structure can come for a POQ question. So be careful how you will miss 5 marks. I'll tell you. Many of my students, what they do is they write this: managing director, human resource, marketing, research and development, purchase. Now, I've seen in the examination when we go for valuation, right? Many of the students, they write exactly like this. Say this is actually incomplete. Though it is correct, it is what? Incomplete. What exactly you should do? According to their function, they are divided. So when you write only human resource, it is not the complete answer. Here you need to drag. You need to write. What is it? What is the function of human resource management? That is, they'll recruit, training and development. So that is how it is complete now. Now marketing, what is that they do? Market research they do. Market survey they do. They go with more of advertisement. So these are the functions of marketing. The same way, similar way, research and development, what is that they do? They go with technology, they go with R&D, they go with innovation. And next, say purchasing. Now you people need to tell me the functions of purchasing. Now what exactly they do? So please write it in the comment box, and that is how I'll get to know that you people are able to understand this. Next is divisional structure. See, again, divisional structure here, this is for medium and a large industries or enterprises or organization. Here what happens, again, managing director is there. See, properly if you understand, managing director is there in the functional structure as well as in the divisional structure, but here little difference is there. Now this is what the products are more in that particular company. Say example, in that company, there is a company which handles cosmetics, garments, footwear, skin care. Each one of them, they need human resource, marketing, research development, purchasing. See, each one. So garment has taken. Now here, if cosmetic comes, right, or if say skincare comes, again they need what? They need HR, marketing, they need research and development, and they also need purchasing. So this is what all the departments are separate. Skincare will have a different HR, marketing, research, development, purchasing. Footwear will have a separate HR, marketing, research, development and purchasing. Garment will also have what? Human resource, marketing, research and purchasing. So this is what divisional structure is, right? So why there is a different HR in cosmetics? Why there is a different HR say in garments? Because both the products are totally different, right? So totally different people is that we need so that to select. So that's why HR of cosmetic is totally different from HR of garments. Next is comparative view of functional and divisional. I've given you a few bases here. First is formation. Now formation is based on specialization in functional. Formation is based on product line and supported by functions. Specialization, if you go with it, functional specialization is there. Here product specialization. Responsibility, very difficult to fix on a department. Easy to fix responsibility for performances because you will identify which department have done it. Managerial development, if you go, difficult, has each functional manager has to report to the top management. Say HR, top management, marketing, top management. They need to report it. But here, easier autonomy, that is autonomy in the sense what? Cosmetic HR will report to the cosmetic department only. So that HR will not be liable, or they will not be reasonable. They will not be the person who will go and talk to the skincare department, right? So that is what it is. Say easier autonomy as well as the chance to perform multiple functions helps in managerial development. So here it is more development because they are expertise only in that field. Causes functions are not duplicated, hence economical. Economical, why? Because for a smaller thing, this function structure is good. Duplication of resources in various departments, hence very costly. See, only medium and large organization can go with divisional structure. Next, we have the topic called delegation. You can get a question called what is delegation? So whenever you get a question, what is delegation? Define delegation. The beautiful answer I'm going to quote here right now is very simple. Delegation is a process of transferring authority and responsibility to the subordinate, immediate subordinate, right? Usually this is what happens, but you can transfer your authority and responsibility to anybody, but it is temporary only. The minute you come back to the position, they are supposed to give all the authority to you. I'll give you an example here how delegation happens. Say example, when Mahendra Singh Dhoni was playing, because I'm a fan of MSD, so I always take his example. So when MSD was the captain of India and he got a hurt or he never wanted to play the next match because of health fitness, he used to delegate the authority to the next person, that is Virat Kohli. Now what happens? Delegation has happened, transfer of authority, responsibility. As soon as he's back to the team, now what happens is Virat Kohli need to give the captaincy to MS Dhoni again the same way. So this is what delegation is. Now delegation refers to the downward transfer of authority from superior to a subordinate. See, captain to vice captain. It is a prerequisite to the efficient functioning of an organization because it enables a manager to use his time on high priority activities. So this is what delegation is, and let me tell you here, delegation is temporary. So please understand that. Next is elements of delegation. There are 3 elements of delegation. You may get a question for 8 marks. The first is authority, second is responsibility, third is accountability. So these are the 3 elements of delegations. Next is importance of delegation. Now 2 of the questions, the question paper, this question has come. So you may expect this type of question also. The first one is effective management, employee development, motivation of employee, facilitation of growth, basis of management hierarchy, better coordination. So you can expect these questions in your exams as well. Next one, when we go with it, decentralization. See, delegation is different, decentralization is different. Decentralization in the sense, distribution of authority and responsibility. Delegation is transfer, but decentralization is distribution. So here, distribution in the sense, in many organizations in which decision-making authority lies with the top management are termed as centralization authority, right? Or centralized organization. Whereas those in which such authority is shared with lower level or decentralization organization. So here what happens, say example now, I'll give you an example. We had something called MD, right? Now MD, there are 3 people who will report, say HR manager, marketing manager, say finance manager. Now what happened, this is centralized. Yes or no? This is all centralized. Now here you have, there is a person A, there is a person B. Now here we have person M and the person N. Now how decentralization happens is through centralization only a decentralization can happen. Say M has a problem, he will only go with A. He'll not tell this to the MD, he'll tell this to A, saying some problems are happening. Now A will have authority to solve it within there itself. That is called decentralization. But there are so many people who feel that We should not give responsibility or authority to A. Don't give authority to H. Whatever happens to M, he should come and report to us. Now that is called centralization. So this one man is taking control of everything is called centralization. Now people who are superior to it and they are solving the things themselves, that is called decentralization. Next, I have given you the comparative view of delegation and decentralization. This is helpful even for your degree classes as well as master degree classes. The same topic is repeated in degree as well as master degree. So meaning structure of authority relationship created by management, network of social relationship arising out of interaction among employees. Like that, the origin arises as a result of company rules and policies, arises as a result of social interaction, that is decentralization. Authority, if you go with it, arises by virtue of position in management. Behavior, it is directed by rules. Flow of communication, communication take place through scalar chain. When I say scalar chain, it is from top to the bottom. Nature, delegation is rigid. Leadership, if you go, managers are the leader. That is what the delegation is. When it comes to decentralization, there is no set behavior pattern. Flow of communication is not through a planned route. It takes place in any direction. It can be vertical, it can be horizontal. And decentralization is flexible. See, this is the major thing here. Decentralization is flexible, whereas delegation is rigid. So these are the two things which you people need to understand. And leaders may or may not be the managers. They are chosen by the group itself. Say example, I'll give you a better example here. Even when MS Dhoni was the captain and Sachin Tendulkar, Sehwag, they used to play the matches. Now the leader is who? The captain is who? The captain is MS Dhoni. But difficult times, MS Dhoni used to ask the opinion of the senior player, that is Sachin Tendulkar. So that is where decentralization happens. When it comes to batting order, when it comes to bowling order, MS Dhoni used to ask Zahir Khan about who should bowl the next over. See again, decentralization here. Leader may or may not be the manager. They are chosen by the group. Leader may not be only the captain. The group itself will choose who the captain is in the field or on the field. So that is what happens in decentralization. So next one here, when we go with it, decentralization is an optional policy decision. See, decentralization is not mandatory. It is what? Optional policy. So here when we go with the nature, delegation is a compulsory act because no individual can perform all tasks. Freedom of action, if you go, more control by superiors. Hence, less freedom to take own decisions. It is a process followed by shared task. It has narrow scope, as it is limited to superior and his immediate subordinate. To lessen the burden of the manager, we use delegation. On the other hand, if you go with it, decentralization, less control over executives, hence greater freedom of action. It is the result of policy decision of top management. It has wider scope as it implies extension of delegation to the lowest level of management. So it can go with the lowest level of the management to increase the role of subordinates in the organization by giving them more autonomy. So more powers you give it to the lower level people, supervisory level people, middle level people. What happens is they will get the work done very efficiently and very effectively. So any doubt regarding this session, please do call us. We are always there to help you. Thank you so much. I'll see you when I see you. Thank you.